back to my channel. My name is Cody. If you're new to this channel, I create sewing and fashion videos. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys a lot. We are going strong. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a cupped corset. This cupped corset is different from a typical cupped corset because it gives you a better snatch look and is a more detailed explanation. You won't want to miss out. So before I begin, I'm going to be explaining. Someone asked in the last video about what size of corset, what size of bra cup to get when you're making a corset. So this is a typical bra cup you see in the market. It has these grooves inside. This is the inside of the cup, and then this is the outside. When you go to get one, it has sizes written inside. So to find out what your clients will be needing, you get the bust circumference of your client, and then you minus 2 out of it. For instance, if your client's bust circumference is 38, then you're using a bra cup of 36 inches. That's typically what you need to know about the bra cup. And then sometimes you will still need to go in to tuck in the bra cup even after getting a smaller size, but most of the times it's always fine. And then secondly, unlike using the typical waistline, I'm going to be using like the navel line, which is like 2 inches below your actual waistline. So without further ado, let's begin this tutorial.
Here is how we are going to be taking our measurements. I'm going to be taking my bust vertical measurement from my neck point to my bust point. After that, I'll be taking the vertical measurement of my under bust as well, neck to under bust. Then as well, I'll be taking neck to waistline. And finally, I'm going to be taking neck to the navel point I spoke about earlier. And now for the horizontal measurement, I'm going to be needing my shoulder measurement and my bust circumference measurement. My under bust, you need to be taking these measurements tight. You don't leave any allowance while taking this measure. You have to take it tight. And then I'm taking my waist circumference and then my circumference on the navel point as well. With our measurements now, we begin drafting. I'm just placing in my vertical measurements. I'm marking my bust line, my under bust line, my waistline, as well as my navel point line. You try as much as possible to make various points so that you can get a straight line too. After marking my points, I'm going to be connecting it to my pattern masker. For my navel point, I came down by 1.5 inches from my waistline. So just in case you're unsure of what to do, just come down by 1.5 inches from your waistline. Now I'm marking half of my shoulder line. I'm going to be marking it and coming down by 1 inch for our shoulder slope, and I'll be making my slants. Now to form our chest line, I'm dividing my bust circumference by 6 and then adding 1.5 inches. And whatever I get, I'm going to be placing it from our shoulder slope down. You make sure that your shoulder line is also marked where you want to mark your chest line. And then you connect your point. So this here is our chest line. To begin drafting our corsets, we need a cup allowance of 1 inch. This depends on the client you're using. So now I'm just placing my cup, making sure the tip of my cup is touching both my bust line and my chest line. I'll be tracing that out. You will notice that your under bust is not matching with your cup corset, with your cup. Don't be scared, because don't bother about that, because if you can see measuring it, I'm having a longer under bust than my actual measurements. So this goes to show you that your actual under bust is actually too much for what you want for your cup corset. So shortening your under bust length will actually help your corset sit better on your under bust line. So I'm tracing out the cup, and where my cup stops is where my new under bust line will be. So I'm dividing my bust measurement by 4 and I'm marking it on my chest line, and then my bust on my bust line, I'm dividing my bust measurement by 4 and then removing 1 inch and marking it on my bust line. This is because of the allowance of your cup, you're going to be having an excess of fabric if you should place your actual bust circumference divided by 4. So whatever you divide and get by 4, you have to minus 1 out of it. So like I said, this is our new under bust line. So now on this under bust line, I'm just placing quarter of my under bust measurement, and then on our belly point, I'm placing quarter of my belly circumference. I'm just going to be connecting that point slightly. You have to pay attention to how to use your pattern master. So now I'm going to begin with this waist snatching. Firstly, we're going to be marking the half of our nipple to nipple measurement. This is for our waist snatching, and then going out by 2.5 to form another waist snatching line. So I'm going to be connecting that to form a straight line. And now to begin our dark intake, we're going to be taking at the center front. To give it a more fitted and snatched look, we're going to take in 1/2 inch on the belly line, 1/2 inch on the under bust line, and then we'll be connecting the belly line to the under bust line, and then with a slanted line we'll be connecting it to the bust point. So this we are going to be taking this out. So now for our snatching proper, we're taking 1/2 inch on both sides of our nipple to nipple measurement, and then coming down by 1 inch, and we'll be connecting it to the intakes we took. Same thing for the next dark line. You take 1/2 inch on both sides, and then coming down by 1 inch, you'll be connecting it to the diagonal line to the intake we already took. So here are the dark lines we'll be cutting out. So now to avoid that pointy tip there, we're going to just be straightening out the side line and cutting out that excess pointy tip. This will help you get snatched, since the cupped corset doesn't have sleeves, so you don't need any extra bulky excess fabric. So now for the back, I'm just going to be making sure I have a straight line to form my center back, and then tracing my side lines I already have of my front back. I'll be tracing my front bodice to my back. I'm just trying to get the points I'm getting. The main points I'm getting is my belly line and my chest line, and also obviously the side line. So after tracing that out, I'm just going to redraw my lines. So as you can see me labeling, that's my side, this is my center back, up is my chest, and down is my belly line. So as you can see, these two side lines are matching, they are meant to be matching. So now for our center back, I'm going to be having a lace up feature. So I'm taking out 1.5 inches. This here is going to form our lacing. And then for the snatching of the back, I'm just going in from the center front by 4 inches. I'm going to be placing a dart line there. You'll be connecting it downwards. I came down by 1 inch, and I also took 1/2 inch on both sides for our dart contouring. for our waist snatching, sorry. So now before anything, we'll have to just draw in our back neckline. I'm coming down by 1.5 inches so I can get a curved neckline at the back, and then my pattern master, I'm connecting it with a curve. So to give us more reinforcement of snatching effects, because we're all about snatching, I'm taking 0.25 inches on both sides of the line at the top, and I'm connecting it to our dart legs. So this just give us extra snatching effects. So you make sure to fold your dart in to make sure that you don't have any, to make sure you correct the lines that are longer than the other. As you can see, as I folded it, there's a little bit of difference between the two lines, so I'm just connecting that in so we don't have any shortage at the end. The way I placed it here, you can actually cut it this way if you want. You can just leave the dart folded, tape it and cut it this way, or you can open it and make it form a fashion line with it. You can also create another dart line by just coming out by 2.5 inches and making another dart line, which you eventually cut out. So as you can see, I just obviously made 3 dart lines just for the back. It depends on how many style lines you want to have. So our back is ready. I'm just cutting out my pieces. So this is how our front and back is supposed to be looking. You try to make sure that your front side seam and your back side seam match together. You can see how I'm placing mine and they are matching together. This is how it's supposed to be looking. Please as well, do not forget to label your patterns. Label your patterns. If you're even confused which one is the top of the pattern and the down of the pattern, please try as much as possible to label it. You can even place up and down on your pattern. So here you just cut out your patterns. Please remember that there are no seam allowances in this pattern. I will talk about that later on. Once done cutting out your pieces, this is how they should be looking. Please, as I said, there are no seam allowance in this pattern. To place, this is how it should be looking, and then your cup should look like that. To add seam allowance to this pattern, you're going to be adding half an inch up, half an inch at both sides, and then 1 inch beneath for the hemming. So this is how half of your corset is supposed to be looking. I hope you understood it. If you have any questions, comment section is wide open. See you guys next time. Love you. Bye.